Right, okay, we're going
Welcome.
live. We're going live.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Digital Coach. Today I'm joined by the amazing Maeve Madden. Hey Maeve, how you doing?
I'm very well, Ben. How are you?
Good, good. Happy belated birthday. So I hope you had a good weekend.
Yeah, we did. It was fabulous.
Yeah.
Loving the weather here in London. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I can't work out whether I'm happy we're on lockdown because of the weather or whether I would prefer to be in an office anyway. So I don't know. But
No, I'm definitely enjoying the lockdown experience. I feel like we're just more present because can't really go anywhere. So I feel like, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Must
it's
say.
definitely been calming. That's the kind of word I'm using, calming for the soul.
I
Um,
feel like everybody's just rethinking everything they do.
yeah.
And it's just like so much is going to change now.
So before we dive into then obviously the digital fitness side, what are you going to be changing? Let's stay on that.
Um, I definitely think the way that I work out, I'm definitely I don't think I'll go back to a gym. So the gym I go to is in my building, and I have to pass the gym to go to the car park. And every
Mhm.
time I pass it, I get this like fear, like going back to school, that like
Yeah,
it's
that's
coming to the
interesting.
end of summer, and you're like, I don't want to go back. That's the feeling I'm getting every time I pass the gym. So I don't think that I'm gonna go back to the gym, even though it's free for me to go and there's like
It's
a
a very
pool
nice
and
gym though.
everything, but it's a very nice gym. Will I go back? I'm not sure. I'm really enjoying working out online. I'm getting better results than I ever did do at the gym. I have like a bit of equipment at home, and
Hmm.
I think that a lot of people, a lot of women. So I train mostly women, and a lot of women do feel the same way.
Yeah, no, I think that's it's definitely going to change the fitness industry for sure,
Yeah,
for the better, I think. But yeah, so the reason why I wanted to get you on the show was obviously we've known each other for many years, but
yeah,
the
I
main thing I
know. I noticed
saw
that.
was I feel like you were one of the first to really pivot and kind of have some sort of structure and also start doing the live classes
Yeah,
from the get go. So kind of
I really was, wasn't I?
you're a pioneer in this virtual
But that's
space.
because I people were like, "You're crazy." I had like when this hit China, I had bought my mask. I was like, "I'm ready," and then like I was like quarantining like 2 weeks before we were told to go into quarantine, and that's actually mainly because I wanted to go home,
Mhm.
and my mom had cancer in the past. She's over it
Oh,
now, but
so
she
sorry.
would be a vulnerable person. And then my dad is like 65, and he, of course, has like high blood pressure from, he
Mhm.
still, runs his own businesses and things like that. And we were like, well, we would need to go into quarantine for at least 2 weeks before we could go home and then be with
Yeah.
them. And then the whole thing just shut down. And of course, then no one was I didn't want to take a flight. We were going to drive. And anyway, so that was why
I see.
home.
So
And
you
I
were
was like,
prepared.
and then I was like, well, I can't go to the gym, so I'm going to do these home workouts. And I thought, well, other people are at home, so why don't they join me? And that's why I started. Yeah, I've been doing home workouts for 11 weeks now.
Wow. I mean,
I
we'll
know.
get on to kind of how are you fatigued or whatever. But, obviously before, for those of you that don't know Maeve, she has a huge audience on Instagram. Is it mainly Instagram or do you kind of,
Yeah, just
how would you describe
Instagram.
your audience, let's call them, rather than following? Because obviously it's fitness
My
and health
following.
related, and obviously you've
Yeah,
written a
so
book.
it's very much about women's health, and that's what I mainly talk about. And I have a 90% female audience,
Hmm.
so you're not. So yeah, it's just all women. We open up and we speak about general women's health issues. We speak about then the usual stuff like the hair and the beauty.
Yeah,
And I really do like a mix of everything. I think I would be like a women's health advocate,
yeah,
really speaking. And we have now like 235,000. is
Yeah.
what we're on at the moment. I do keep it mainly on Instagram.
Hmm.
I just can't get into the TikTok.
Yeah, no,
I just don't it's not to me it's just, I think it's mainly aimed at children. I just don't find it entertaining. Like it's funny for like 2 or 3 minutes, but then I'm like, I want to learn something,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
not really like, it's entertainment. And then YouTube, I've always said that I was going to do a YouTube channel, but
Mm.
never got. I've just kept everything on the one page, so really
Yeah.
focused everything there, and that's what, that's worked really well for me.
Yeah, so you looking at your page previously, and obviously seeing kind of the content you put out. You were always doing kind of fitness related stuff, right? So you were having recorded videos, etc.
Yeah.
Now that you're doing the live workouts, firstly, I guess the question is, when do you do them? How often do you do them? But also, are you still going to continue doing, the videos like you did before, where it might be a set of exercises and these exercises do this, or is it
Mhm.
mainly around the live?
I'm still recording weight like weights, home weight workouts, and I'm still putting those up twice a week. I would have posted. I'm actually posting a lot less. So I'm
Hmm.
only posting 3 to 4 times a week, where before it would have been every single day I was posting
Yeah,
something. But now obviously I'm doing these lives. I'm doing the lives 5 days a week. So
yeah,
we'll start with the lives. So I do the
yeah.
live workouts 5 days a week. So we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't do Thursday. I was doing Thursday before, but I felt like I was tired,
Yeah,
and I cut Thursday out, and I do Friday, Saturday,
yeah.
and we do those. So we do 5 days a week at 10:30, and then twice a week I run an afternoon weight session. Now I only have 3 kilo dumbbells, because I'm not spending 50
Ah,
pounds on a 10 kilo kettlebell
yeah,
on
gosh.
Amazon. Like, the price of weights has
I'm
really
surprised you
increased
can
for
get hold
home.
of any.
I know. I did get hold of, from that company Raise, I got hold of a weighted ball, a six
Yeah,
kilo and a 10 kilo. So then I have like these 3 kilo and I have 5 kilo weights. And that's just what I would have had at home from doing recordings at home, because I would never have trained at home. I would
yeah,
always have gone to the gym. But I always did show, like, when I was recording workouts, it was always stuff that you would have been able to do at home anyway.
yeah.
So we're doing 7 classes a week now. Am I burnt out? No, not really. I don't think so, because I would have trained 5 days a week anyway.
Yeah. So you're
I
just
would have gone
allowing
to,
the audience to join in with you.
exactly. So for me, it's like, I'm taking this class, and it is a different style of training. I'm doing these, high intensity, kind of like, people are like, it's like a mix of hit Zumba. I've never done a Zumba class in my life. Apparently, that's what it's like, a mix of hit Zumba and Pilates.
Yeah.
So it's like a mix of those all put together. I make it really fun by using um, old school music. I find that
Yeah.
Instagram don't cut your. So, for example, last week I added in an Ariana Grande song, and then
Interesting.
the workout got deleted. And I was
Yeah.
like, damn. So everything I've been using is like throwback to the 90s and like early
Yeah.
noughties tunes. Which is fun, because my audience is older. I have an
Mm.
audience that's between 25 and from 25 up, very
Yeah.
few younger generation. So it's an older audience. So that music is more fun, because it's like
Yeah.
throwback to like party time. And I'm really enjoying it. And I've got like a great, we call it Team Queen. So I've
Yeah.
kind of like branded it in that way, which just accidentally came, that's what me and my friends call
Yeah.
each other. So I was like, okay, Queens, like I'm talking to
Yeah.
myself. I can't
Yeah.
see anyone. So I'm just like, hoping that people are watching and doing it. Maybe they're not. Maybe some people are just sitting in bed watching
No,
the
I mean
workout.
you
Who
average, God,
knows?
how many? I mean, I saw,
So we
I went on there, it
average
was
like
about 1,000, right?
yeah, it's like 1,000 every day. And then sometimes more. Like the biggest session we've had is 1,600, like nonstop. And so I know that they've, like, everybody's joining in. And then
Mm.
not everybody does it every day. Some people do it like twice a week, some people do it 4 times a week. And I've noticed that the weight sessions for me and my audience, I only average about 500 in a class.
Interesting.
Um, which is interesting. The weight sessions are different. They're not as fun. I do this thing called sweaty sevens.
Yeah.
Um, and it's kind of the style of training I would have done at the gym anyway. So it's where I kind of like CrossFit, you do like 20, like 10, 15, 20 reps of something,
Yeah.
and we do it as many rounds as possible for 7
Yeah.
minutes.
Gotcha.
And I just do that, like we do 3 sets. So it's only 21 minutes of work, really. And we just do that with some weights because I find that people aren't as interested to do that kind of training with me.
Yeah.
I know I don't have that like weightlifting style body. I'm not like really ripped. Like I would
I
be
think
lean,
it's
but I'm
it's just
not
a
like,
different training, isn't it, as well?
yeah,
I think, we're seeing kind of a bit of a similar response with the more kind of focused, I guess, strength ones. But
yeah.
that's interesting. So how long are the other ones? The one, the Monday, Tuesday, etc.
The morning sessions are up to an hour. So at the
Yeah.
start, it was 30 minutes, but as time's gone on, people are getting fitter, people want
Yeah.
more. So we're going, it's roughly because we do a warm up and we do a cool down, and I have a bit of a goss as well, like a bit of a
Yeah.
chat. And I'd say the actual workout is about 40 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll see at the end people drop off. Like I'll always finish with like ab work or like
Hmm.
glute activation or something
Yeah.
like glute toning or something. Um, and that's when I notice that it'll drop. People stay mainly just for the hit session. And
Yeah.
then once it goes on to more like strengthy, corey stuff or something, at least
I'll
two to
drop
three
off.
hundred people will drop off. And I'm like, stay, where are you going? And they're like, nah, I'm away. And it's funny, but I think that is what the majority of people want when they're training at home. They want to
Yeah.
get hot, they want their heart rate up, they want to get sweaty, they want to feel like they're dripping so much sweat that they've obviously done something major. And everyone
Exactly.
said that, they're like, I'm sweating so much, like I'm burning so much. And I'm also like, because you don't have air conditioning. Like in a gym the rooms will all, most of the
Be
rooms are
chilled.
air
Yeah,
conditioned.
they will.
If
They
you're in your
will. That's
living
so true.
room, like you're not getting, you probably are getting a really good workout. Like you are, like it is a really
Yeah.
good workout. And they are super sweaty and super fun. And then the weight sessions in the afternoon, like I said, they're just 30 minutes, that's it.
Get
Because
in.
I don't get many people joining in, but I want to do the weight set. I enjoy
Yeah.
lifting weights, but I only do that twice a week.
I think people are just more. The session is, is kind of more intense because there's no distractions than a normal, like a normal gym would give you. I guess you're not waiting for equipment. We're definitely seeing like smaller, shorter session times, kind of being more frequent than longer session times. But so that's interesting. I mean, for those people that are listening that are obviously just trying to start out on this, you'll notice that obviously, Maeve knows her audience, the age,
Mm-hmm.
it's mainly women. You've also obviously packaged it up in giving it a product name,
Mm-hmm.
Team Queen, and also the segmenting of the session itself, where it's the hit session and then going into something else.
And
I
we
think
don't change it up too much. And that's one thing that
really,
people have said that they like. They like to know. So we do similar songs, each song has its own routine. Now that's
okay,
how I do it. Not everybody like, I'm not sure who else really does it this way. But
mm,
then the girls understand, they know when they hear a song, kind of like what's coming. And then
yeah,
I'll do beginner, intermediate, and advanced moves because people will join your live sessions at different stages. So some people have been doing it for 11 weeks, some people for 4 weeks. So
mm,
I've had to, when we're going into a routine, give alternative moves for some people so that they can progress just
yeah,
through that short amount of time. And then for others who are just starting out, that that they're just doing beginner movements to understand like the way the workout flows. And I
yeah,
find that people have really enjoyed that because some people are like, oh, and they'll all write it up on the screen. They're so lovely. Like they all encourage each other, but they'll say like, I was never able to do a side plank before, and now I'm able to do the side plank pulses for the set amount of reps that we're doing. And then they'll all like send little crowns to each other, which is
yeah. No.
so cute. It's really, really sweet. And you're just like, yeah, I'm
Team
like, oh my
Queen.
God, this is amazing. exactly. And at the moment, like our focus for this month is to focus on being able to do a push-up. So then
Oh,
like,
so you have focus as well then for
so we
them as
have a
well as it.
focus, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's only something that I've introduced now. Also because I had the shoulder injury and I was out for like so long
Mm.
that I'm only starting to build that strength up as well to be able to do push-ups again. And
Mm.
so it's something that I want to do. So I was like, oh, we'll all do it together because this is my
Yeah.
workout as well. Yeah, so I think that's good, that little focus. And especially something like a push-up or being able to do a side plank hold, things like that, that people, you have to remember, like the average person wouldn't
Yeah.
necessarily be able to do that. Where we think, like you and I, we'd be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we can smash that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I want to be deadlifting so many kilos.
Yeah.
But the average person at home is like, I would love to be able to do a push-up, or I'd love to be able to do 10 sit-ups.
Yeah.
People love the ab exercises.
Of
Like,
course they do.
yeah,
Yeah.
they love it. They're like, I want to do, like, I'm working my abs. And I'm like, well, we're just building core strength. Like, if we do 1,000 crunches, you're not going to get a six pack. Like, that's not, like, we have to focus on nutrition, but they don't want to know that. They're in
Yeah.
quarantine, they're at home, they just want to focus on
And they want to feel it,
feeling,
right? They want to feel
yeah,
that they've done something different. No, it makes complete sense.
exactly. And that it's spicy. The workouts are so spicy that they're feeling such achievement that people are feeling more confident within themselves. And
Yeah.
that's what they're like. One of the girls messaged me and she was like, or the women, she was like, I've had 3 children. For the first time in 3 years, I looked in the mirror and I said out loud, I love my body. And I was like,
Wow.
like, you can't buy that. Like, that's your goal.
I hope you
You're,
sent a crown.
yeah, I did. I was like, Team Queen, snaps. So spicy,
So
like,
what about
so
feedback
good.
then? Like, so because obviously, you sound like your finger is on the pulse, right? With the session, are you reading the comments afterwards? Are you asking people for feedback as
Yeah.
well? How are you doing that?
Yeah, I go through all the comments. So I keep the comments on throughout the whole workout. And I'm able to, like, after each song, we have a hydration break where we,
Mm.
like, everybody drinks and I'll go through the comments. It's also really nice to be very personable with your audience. So
Yeah.
shouting people out, when someone says, oh, I was able to do that now, telling everybody to clap at home. And they are,
Yeah.
they're clapping at home.
Yeah.
And also people aren't at home, but a lot of people are at home with their sisters, their friends, their moms and stuff, so that people are doing it together
Yeah.
as well, which is great. And yeah, we've had great feedback. It isn't, I haven't monetized it yet.
Mm.
Will I? Yes, I will. It's something that we're working on at the moment. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
like, we've been speaking about that, because I know that a lot of people had tried to monetize this during this time, and I
Yeah.
just think that, and a lot of people, for a lot of people it did backlash, especially when you were offering something free and then you were like, oh, actually now we're going to pay for this. And it was a
Yeah.
bit like, we're all in quarantine, like, people have lost
Mm.
their jobs, people are being furloughed, they don't, that extra 20%
Yeah.
that they were making before would have gone to luxuries like gym membership and things like that,
Mm.
or going to gym classes. So for me, it's been more about building the audience,
Yeah.
and
And the audience that
and
you had, right?
exactly. So more about, well, I've even gone, like, throughout this, in the last 10 weeks, I think I've gained like 50 or 60,000 new followers
Wow.
on, no, it must be 50, about 50,000 new followers on Instagram, just from doing these workouts. So I do have
Yeah.
a lot of new members joining, which are not members, they're not a member, but like new
Yeah.
followers. I call them
Yeah.
friends, online friends.
Yeah.
Because I think follower is such a weird word.
It is a weird
And it's,
word. I think
yeah,
that's why
you're
I
like,
use audience
oh,
or whatever, but
yeah,
not follow.
audience. Online friends. So I have a lot of new online friends, uh, come and join in. And I've noticed a real big change in engagement as well. But I will continue. So even though we're working on a way of getting people to subscribe to this
Mm.
going forward. It is a lot of work. Like, it does take up half my
This
day.
is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a lot of work. And like, I constantly have to change the workouts, and plan it all. It's like what
Yeah.
you would do when you're working in a gym, or
Yeah.
if you're personal training one-to-one. So yeah, so it is a lot of work, and we will move forward. But I will continue to host like 1 or 2 days a week, probably like twice a week. I will still give that like free workout.
So people can see
Um,
it, experience
so
it.
people can,
Yeah.
yeah, and then decide themselves if they want to join in. But yeah, no, the feedback's been amazing. And a lot of people have said, okay, I think it's the audience themselves have said, I think it's time we start paying for this. Like, it was my
Yeah.
birthday, and so many of them sent me vouchers for stuff. Like,
Wow.
so they've been like, you've done so much for me over this past 10 weeks. Here's how I want to thank you. I wanted like vouchers for Zara and things. I was like, this
Yeah.
is amazing. I feel like a Kardashian. It's like, oh my God, thanks guys. So
Yeah.
fun. But they have said to me, we want to subscribe to something. Like, we want this to be more than just a live on Instagram. So now I'm like, okay, now this is the time. So hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks,
Yeah.
we will have something set up. Obviously, been working on it. So we'll have something set up where people can join in, and it'll be the same. Like, it won't really be that much. I probably offer more classes. As you know,
Yeah.
I'm doing the pre and postnatal course with yourselves, because you're
Yeah.
the best. I did my personal
Okay.
training. I did my training, I got my PT through you.
Yeah.
And I think that's why. And your course was so hard because there's other people I'm like, there's no way that you pass that. Like,
Yeah.
you're
No.
a terrible trainer. Like, we learned so much from you
Mm.
guys, and from your course. And I think that's really
It's great to
what
hear.
separates the trainers, and why your trainers are so good. Like, you have loads of brilliant trainers come from your course. And you do learn so much
I
on
think
the
there's a
course. So
difference, just on, and not necessarily, I mean, thank you for such kind words, we didn't pay
I
to
wouldn't
do
say
that.
it if it
No,
wasn't
I know.
true.
But, I think you can, and this is the thing that I love, is that the people, the clients, the friends, whatever you want to call them, they're getting educated. And so they
Hmm.
can see through the bullshit, excuse my French, they can see
Yeah.
that some fitness, let's call them influencers, ambassadors, are not trainers, and some are, and the ones that
Yeah.
are obviously growing. Like you said, 50,000 in that time is unbelievable.
Hmm. And people would have never seen that before. And that's
Yeah,
why, quarantine, or quarantino, as I like to call it,
yeah,
that's why quarantine, for some people, has been so great, because people would have seen the girl that isn't a personal trainer, that has, a massive ass, and they
yeah,
follow her because they think that she obviously knows aesthetically, because she aesthetically looks a
yeah,
certain way. Where, like, your trainers, the people that
mm,
you've trained, are actually like phenomenal personal trainers. They know how to get results for
yeah,
everybody. Like, everybody is in your actual body shape. And for me, it's always been like, I've always worked well with working with women. However, I have a lot of men also
yeah,
on this, doing my Team Queen workouts, and they love it.
yeah.
Like, my sister's husband's on it, and he's lost like a stone. And I was like,
It just
that's
shows,
insane.
right?
Exactly.
Consistency
Um,
as well.
but I think that's where, doing these live workouts for people, yes, it does take up your time, but people
Yeah,
can then see, how great a trainer you are. And then they want to, and they also learn. They can see your personality, they see you as a
yeah,
person, they're spending an hour or so with you every day,
yeah,
and then they're like, okay, no, I want to train with you, because they know that you're good, and then they're like, okay, I'll pay for it. It's almost like
yeah,
a free trial. Like, work
yeah.
out with me, see how you get on. If you like it, then that's great, and we'll move forward.
So do you think you're going to go back to any face-to-face?
I do have some clients
Yeah, because I remember,
that, yeah, I
but
do have like
before
the girls.
COVID, right?
Yeah, I do have a few clients, like high-end clients that I work with who do want it. They're like, oh, we've been following some of the workouts
Mm.
that you've done, and they do want to go back to training. Well, if I have time, yeah, because I really, we enjoy doing it, and like I love
Yeah.
what I do. There were never clients that I trained every single day. They
Yeah.
were like, we've come to London, we're here for a month or two. Can you train me like 2 or 3 times a week? And then they
Yeah.
go away and they come back. And that's always been the way that I've trained people. I've never, had people that have been there the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah.
Um, and that's fine. So
So
I
it's still
don't
an
know.
option, right?
Yeah, but they're kind of like I they've like the two girls that live together who I train mostly have asked for like Zoom training, like one to
Mm.
one, because we would have trained at their home anyway. They would
Hmm.
have, I know the equipment that they have at home, and it's
Yeah.
stuff that I have here. It's like medicine
Yeah.
balls and, dumbbells and stuff. And like, they're the type of, girls that are, they don't want to lift any heavier than a 4 kilo. And I'm
Yeah.
like, so you have to think of other things for them to do for them to achieve the results that they want.
Yeah.
Um, without lifting, and that's, and then I have another girl who's in Mayfair, and she enjoys doing a mix of weights, but again, she has her own home gym, so we'll train at home. But like, it's so easy. Well, not at the moment, but I think it will be easier when it relaxes, if people do want to buy home equipment,
Totally.
um that they can. And then, like, the workouts that I've been doing have been all for 10 weeks, like all body weight training.
Yeah.
So
And it's
it's just
amazing what
like,
you can do with just that. That's the thing that people
exactly,
just don't
like, you
know.
can get great results with just doing body weight training.
Yeah.
Like, you don't necessarily, like, I've really enjoyed it. I actually feel better just having
Yeah.
done, and then doing like the lighter weight training. Will I go back to lifting heavy weights? I don't think so.
Yeah. No, that's interesting.
And I
I've
feel
heard
like
that a lot.
a lot of people have thought that. And then it's like, sometimes I think, why was I so fixated? And I feel like the fitness trend on Instagram of lifting heavy weights really started with us being able to follow more like men and women physique competitors,
Totally.
rather than just like general fitness people, like your average
Yeah,
fitnessy
and I think
person.
the whole strong campaign, right? Strong, be
Yeah.
strong, and all this.
Mm.
But if you're pushing your body weight and doing some really advanced moves, you're really going to be strong anyway. So it's quite.
Exactly. And like I said, like, over the 10 weeks, like, people who started in week one with me are like, today's workout was the hardest one ever.
Mm,
They're like, but they've been doing it for 10 weeks. I'm like, yeah, because, I'm changing, we're constantly changing the exercises,
yeah,
and, to make it like, whether we're like, holding squats for longer, or
yeah,
pulsing, or, like I said, going now into, building that upper body strength that you can do. Like, you can do a lot with body weight. And
yes,
I think people never thought that before, until they've got hooked onto a program.
yeah. Well, these people are
And
just
now they're
walking,
like,
I guess,
yeah,
into gyms, right? They're walking into gyms, seeing equipment, and thinking that's what I need to use, and now they're able to
yeah.
obviously do
And there,
exercises like you
a
said.
lot of people would have been, they paid for a gym membership. So say they were paying £50 a month or so, whatever. Like, in London, obviously, it's like
Mm,
£200.
yeah,
Say they were paying, their gym memberships can be expensive. Say it's £100 a month, and then it's like, they walk into the gym, they know that they can run on the treadmill, they're not quite sure about the other equipment.
mm,
Then they're afraid to, not really afraid, but it can be, the price adds up when you're then being like, okay, now I'm going to pay for a personal
yeah.
trainer like a
Gosh, it's
couple of days a
hundreds.
week. And it's just so expensive. So few people can afford that.
Yeah. So going back to then monetizing, let's stay on that.
Yeah.
But I definitely do think, just to finalize on the home workout kits for you guys that are thinking about starting it, we here at Number One Fitness definitely, jumped on showing clients where they can buy mini bands, or where they can buy just simple stuff to get them kind of more in the groove of trying to feel like they've got help with their workout. But with monetizing, so what are you kind of thinking with regards to going forwards? Firstly, obviously we have the remote coach platform that some of you guys listening will undoubtedly be on, and we're trying to integrate with Instagram so that everyone can stay on Instagram, but also obviously run their business through remote coach. They don't need to go off, like for instance Zoom. But when it comes to, you've done it for free and then you're going to go to paid, how does someone go through that transition? I think where you said there was a bit of backlash, what I saw was that people were doing it for free, suddenly feeling like they were really tired and thought, hang on a minute, I'm actually not maybe growing. Let me just charge for this. And then overnight, obviously, people went somewhere else. So is there a phase, or kind of from a business perspective, how do you see it panning out?
For me, I think I've been doing it for so long. So we've almost been doing it for 3 months.
Crazy,
people
right?
people are really enjoying it. People are seeing, huge differences in, physically and mentally. And it's something that I'm slowly kind of telling my audience, like, this will soon come to an end, but we're going to keep going together as a team, like we're still, like, it's Team Queen, we're staying
Gotcha.
together.
Yeah.
They can see how passionate I am about it and how much effort I put in. And they know, they're like, you've done this for free for us. And when someone feels so good about themselves, they're like, one, they don't want to stop doing it. And two, you would feel, if I was following someone and I was seeing huge results and huge changes, you would feel a bit guilty that this girl is like getting up every morning, working her ass off and creating all these routines for you to do at home for free. And they know, like, people know that you're not going to just do this forever for free. Like, it just doesn't, like, if you were doing it, then, like, you're stupid. Like, you're not going to just do it forever for free. And because it's your job. Like, you are a personal trainer. Your job is like you wouldn't be like, oh, I'm a teacher and I'm going to teach all the kids on Instagram and I'm never, ever going to go back to my job because I'm just going to teach all these kids for free for the rest of my life. Like, that's your job, is a personal trainer. So and you need to remind your audience that, like, you will be going back to work. When they start to go back to work, that's when you make the transition. They're going back to work. They won't be able to join in at the 10:30 slot that we have every morning. And so that's when I will, because the numbers will drop. I'll no longer be getting 1,000 women every day joining me. It'll probably drop, could be by half, it could be by 75%, it could be by 90%, because most people have jobs that they'll be going back to. So
will they,
that's
though?
when we
I
know. But they will be going, even if they're working from home, they may not be able to join in at that allocated time. So they'll be doing it either earlier in the morning, which I will be running. I will change the times. Once people start going back to work, I will bring the time from 10:30 more to like an early morning session. And that's where I was thinking I could run then a more midday session, like mid-morning, for my pre and postnatal mummies. That was my plan. And also, I don't think it would be hard for me because we know that pre and postnatal is so low impact. It's not something that's going to exhaust me. Will I be able to do, a 45-minute hit session followed by a 30-minute low impact? Yeah, of course. Like, that's not exhausting. So that's why I said that I would bring that in as well. And also, that's something that you need to understand your audience. Like, do you have an audience of predominantly women that are in that age group, that could be, pre and postnatal? And that's why it's important for me, because I do have a big audience that are pregnant, including my sister, who's not pregnant. So she's like, I'm not doing your workouts anymore. I'm like, oh, for God's sake. So that's where we make the transition. And that's where, like, your platform, the coaching platform, is amazing because it's something that's already set up and it's so easy. You don't have to go, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to go and develop a whole new app. I'm just like, do people know that, like, the Apple Store take like 50% of your revenue? Like,
30%,
huge. Is it 30%? But that is a huge amount. And then for someone like me, like, I'm with a management company who will help build all of this, who own 20% of everything I do, because they get me all my brand deals and all of those other things, and they will help promote this and put it all together and build it for me. So then if I was doing that, then Apple would be taking 30%. my management company are taking 20% and I'm left with 50%, which
Yeah.
is like,
You're
do I
doing all
want
the
to build?
work. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And what I will do though is I will create a website that will
Yeah.
be
So
a
you've got
landing spot.
nice.
Um, and on there will be a lot of different plans because
Mm.
people love a plan anyway. They're like, oh, I'm doing the
Yeah.
workout. Maybe I'll see. I'm not going to be going like, oh, abs in 6 weeks
Yeah.
to get abs because that's not who I am. So I will, and that's not what my audience want. My audience wants to know like, oh, how can I learn how to eat healthier? Like
Yeah.
that's what they want, just like an easy lifestyle plan that
Yeah.
will fit them and their families because most of them are going to be living at home with kids and stuff like that, or with a partner, husband, whatever it
Yeah.
is, wife, whatever, and they want meals or ideas that they can cook for everyone, so chicken and broccoli
Yeah.
out the window. So we're creating a bunch of these, but it's true. Like,
It's
how many
true.
people, like, people are like, oh, chicken broccoli, chicken and broccoli. I'm like, who the hell is sustainable on chicken and broccoli? Because it's not me. Like, you can't
Yeah.
live. Like, do I want abs that bad? No. I want to know that I can have a treat at nighttime, or I
Totally.
can have a drink at the weekend. And that's like and that's where Joe Wicks was really clever as well. He did that
Yeah.
sustainable living kind of plan. Now, if you want to go one to one with me and you want to,
Mm.
work your ass off and do a lot of weightlifting and eat chicken and broccoli,
Yeah.
fine. Let's go one to one and have
Yeah.
that. You should offer that, as a personal trainer. So it's
Yeah.
basically what I would be offering is like your group training, which is your
Yeah.
team queen. Then you have your nutritional plans that people can just buy. And then you
Yeah.
will have like your, where you can do one to one training as an option. So
Yeah.
you
What
can
about
do lots of
community?
different,
Obviously,
yeah,
because you mentioned like through the classes they're doing, they're sending the crowns and they're really
yeah,
applauding each other. Do you have, how does your community how does your community communicate other than
uh-huh.
the lives? Are you going to have some sort of,
Like a forum.
yeah, or something like that, or not
Yeah,
really?
I think no, yeah, no, I will. That's part of like the website design, that we will have a
Yeah.
forum that people can go on and chat to each other and like,
Yeah.
do whatever they want to do, like have
Okay.
little talks and stuff, which is fun. And that's something that, with a website designer that you can easily build.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
then
a lot of I know like Lisa Fit, she is strong and sexy, and she is a huge community, and she has things like that. She also has an app, but she also does a lot of online. She is kind of like
yeah.
a bit of everything, but she's got like 2.5 million followers.
Yeah, gosh, yeah.
So obviously I'm like minute compared to her, what
Mm.
she has. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. You could have 10,000 followers, you could have 1,000 followers and do this.
Yeah.
Or you could have, 5 million followers and do this. You shouldn't think, oh, I'm not going to do that because I don't have as many followers as her. Like, everybody, it's not about, obviously it's great to grow your social media,
Yeah.
and to use that as a platform to market yourself. And that's what it's there for. And it's free. So you should
Yeah.
do that. But you should also, you shouldn't worry about the numbers and focus so much on the numbers. You should just focus on the people that you have that are tuned in. So I have 1,000 a day. So maybe I only have 1,500 in total that I
Mm.
really want to do this. But that 1,500, like, could make a lot. You could make a lot of money from just having those
Yeah.
1,500 people join you every day for a workout. But like someone with 10,000 followers may have the same amount of people. So it doesn't. You shouldn't
That's
just be
really
like,
interesting to look at it
yeah,
that
you
way.
shouldn't think like, oh, just she has loads of followers, so I'm not going to do that. Don't let figures stand in your way of growing something. And everything always grows, from the start, and then word of mouth spreads. Like,
Yeah.
word of mouth is still so great because people will see people and be like, oh, you look amazing. Like, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been doing this Team Queen workout. Like, it's so brilliant.
Yeah.
It's only this much a month. You should try it too. Like, you'll find that really fun. So like, old fashioned word, like, word does spread.
Yeah.
And people, I think, forget that they're so fixated on, on growing numbers and social
Quickly
media,
as
and
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And like, just to make an example, so I obviously have 250,000 or almost 250. And I was getting, well over 1,000 people join me every single day. Then there was a girl I know who has 1.5 million followers. And I was on her workouts, just seeing what different people are doing. Obviously, you look at your competition,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. And, I saw she had 500 people. And
Yeah.
that's what I mean. So just because someone has a lot of numbers following them doesn't mean that their audience are
Oh
necessarily
gosh, yeah,
engaged
no,
with what
it's
they're
all about the
doing.
quality, right? It's quality.
Exactly. And know
Uh,
that like you're a great personal trainer. Like think in your head, you're like, I've done my courses, I've worked
mm.
really hard. I'm putting together, something. Like never doubt yourself. Always know that what you're doing and people follow you and want to do the workout because they love what you're doing.
So I guess
Motivational talk from
yeah,
me.
wow, we're going to
We
snip
have,
it
we
that
have the
bit.
resident.
So just to
I
wrap it
need
up,
to
because I
listen
know
to
I'm
my
looking at the
own
time,
words. Yeah.
is
I
what
told you I blabber on and on.
no, there's so much for people listening to this. There's so much to take away.
Yeah.
Things even for us. I own a couple of gyms that we're just not thinking about necessarily, which is so good to hear. But what are the three things? I'm a new trainer. I've got qualified. Suddenly COVID hits, and people are like, "You need to go online." And you're like, "Oh God, I just got qualified anyway." And I want to start looking at doing some classes like you're doing. What would be the let's say 2 to 3 things that you really think they should plan or focus on, or whatever it might be, or
Mm-hmm.
consistency, whatever it might be, to make sure that they get kind of going?
So if you're just newly qualified, well,
Or just
just
even
because
just
you're
starting to
just
get
like
going.
even
Yeah.
starting to get going online, because I was like, I did so much training before I got
Mm,
qualified. I got qualified because I was training so much.
yeah.
So a lot of people already know what they're doing. Mine would be I think the most important thing that I've learned is to be like super prepared, like have all your music ready, have all your
Mm,
timings, have your workout set up in front. Like if you don't rely on your brain, because you'll be
yeah.
listening to music, you can see people writing comments, there's a lot of things distracting when you're doing these workouts. I literally like write my workouts. I was like, at the start I was like, oh, I'll do a PowerPoint so that it'll stay for the given amount of time,
Yeah.
and then it'll flick and that'll be on my TV. And I was like, no, even that's distracting. So I literally have it written out on a massive A3 page, like attached to my television,
That's
because
so
I prop my
interesting. You're the
TV.
second person I've had on say this. This is really
Really?
interesting. Yeah.
And so I just have it written out. I've seen other PTs online do it where they have it like written in a book and they're going back, and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
so distracting for your audience. You want your eyes to always be fixated on them, as if you're
Yeah.
just, and that but you can kind of glance off to the side and see
Yeah.
like, what's coming next if you forget it.
Yeah.
For me, it was like the music that I used, people really enjoyed. And
Stick
that,
music. Okay.
like, yeah, the music that it all kind of went together. So it kind of goes to the beat.
And you're
So
just
they
playing it
know
next to
that
your
like,
phone? You're just playing it next to your
so
phone?
I used my, what is it, the Echo, the
Yeah.
Amazon thing, like a speaker.
Yeah.
And I streamed it from my laptop. So the laptop's connected to the speaker, and then we just go with that. And so that's separate. So you don't want anything to be coming onto your phone. So yeah, so you don't want to be like doing your music and your live and everything from your phone. You would just want to have it all separate.
Yeah.
And I think that was like, and to have like a schedule, don't be like, hey guys, I'm running a workout every morning at 10 o'clock. Boom, join me. What are you doing? What is your workout? Like, is it high intensity? Is it like, so mine's like Monday, we have lean legs day, Tuesday, hitting abs, Wednesday, full body with the like lower impact,
Mm.
Thursday, rest day, Friday's back to upper body. So upper body strength. And then Saturday, I call it spicy Saturday, where it's just a major sweat session.
Yeah.
So that your audience
I love
know,
it.
okay, these are the workouts that I'm going to be doing. And like, you don't have to make it difficult. Like
Mm.
the simpler the better, as long as people are getting their heart rate up. Then they feel good about themselves. Like it doesn't have to be like, bear crawls and crab touches, and
Yeah.
like it can be like, side step, I
Just
do
get
so
them
much
moving.
sidestepping. People are like, yeah, sidestep. Like, it's great. Like, I'm like, soft knees, sidestep,
Yeah.
let's go, and just be like motivating and encouraging. And also, no one, like, people are watching you, but you can't see them watching you. So, like, if you feel like being like Mr. Motivator and just like really, giving it loads, like, no eyes are judging you.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you're taking a class,
And
like an
people
actual
love
workout
that.
class, yeah, and it's just like, give it your all, because what have you got to lose? Nothing.
Yeah.
Literally, you've nothing to lose. Like,
Yeah.
make your class so fun that people are like wanting to go back for more.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
I feel great. Let's go back for more. Like, that was so fun. Make it fun. Like, it's at home. You're at home. And all, like, during quarantine, especially, like, people want something that's uplifting.
Yeah.
Like,
They
don't
do.
make it so hard. You have to remember, like, you're a personal trainer. You're probably really fit already. You're probably used to working out all the time. Like, your average Joe who's joining you isn't. So, and you can't see them. You just have to kind of guess who's joining you. And
Yeah.
that's why, like you always say, like you keep saying to me, like, your audience. I know that,
Mm.
I've got a 35-year-old mom who has two children, side by side, doing the workout around her. She doesn't want to be, doing some weird, like really hard stuff. She just wants to jump around and move a little.
Yeah.
That's
Get out of
like,
that
that's
work
my,
day and sweat a bit, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, I think the most important thing is, make sure it's all planned, make sure you have a structure, tell people in advance, use things on your Instagram like the countdown app. Set
Yeah.
that countdown app every night. People turn it on, it reminds them the next day.
Yeah.
Create a hashtag for yourself. Why not? Ask people. That's one way of ask people. Oh, tag me. Like, I'm sure people who follow me are like, I'm sick of
Yeah.
Maeve's Instagram stories, because I just repost what people, I'm like, tag me in your sweaty selfies.
Yeah.
So then people are like, oh, what's she doing? Oh, she's doing that workout. I'm going to do that workout. Like,
Yeah.
use your social media
To create more.
yeah, because Instagram give you so many, so many things. Save it to your page, like, and tell people to tag their friends. So there's
I
like
think that's
all
so
of those
important.
things.
Telling them what to do. Save this to your page or tag me in it. People just don't do it.
Yeah.
Or bring your friend next time. Nice.
Exactly. Like, tag
Awesome.
me in your sweaty selfies. Oh, whose birthday is it today? Oh, let me give you a shout out. Then they're like, well, it's my birthday tomorrow. I want a shout out.
Yeah.
People love people do love a shout out. I love a shout out. See, if someone gives me a shout out, I'm like, oh my God, that person gave me a shout out. Like, it's so exciting.
You've heard it here
Is. Like,
first. Get a
it doesn't
shout
matter
out.
who you are. You love a shout out. You're just like, that's so fun. Like, it is fun. Like,
It is.
and, your audience do love that. And you're their friend. Like, you're their personal trainer. So the way you are with your clients in person is how you need to be with your clients online.
Okay. Thank you so much, Maeve. We took a
I
lot.
really enjoyed it.
God.
I know,
really,
sorry.
really. No. It's been amazing. I think, whoever, whether you've been training for years or you're just starting out online, you're going to take a lot away from that. So
I hope so.
Thank you so much.
Give me a follow. Join in my workouts.
Do you want to tell them your handle, as we call it, don't we?
Oh yeah, it's just Maeve, Maeve _Madden.
Yeah, check out her classes. They are unbelievable. I've joined a few. I like to sidestep and get into the groove. So, all right, Maeve, thank you so much.
Okay, thank
Speak
you.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.